Mike Contact coming to you here with another video. I scored one of these Scary Skully skulls at from the Home Depot when they had those things marked down 75%. This was regularly an $80 item. This is a skull replacement for your original Skully to give him a scarier look. And when they threw these things down to 75% off, this was $19. And I think they sold like 4,000 in a day, less than a day, what they had in the inventory in the warehouse. You could sit there and refresh the page and watch it just keep counting down by tens and fives, and it's just unreal how fast they sold out. But you know, $19 for this thing, my gosh, that was a heck of a buy. I mean, and that includes the LCD eyes, and these are just like the replacement eyes. So it came with remote, came with the little remote push button, so you could change the eye pattern. It has the same 8 eye patterns. It has the same wiring input. It has the black connector there and the white connector. And then on the scary mouth, of course, has the scarier looking skull period, but they added a glowing LED in the mouth here. And then what I want to do with this is also a little Home Depot fiery skull. Actually, I can't remember what they called it. I don't have my tag on there. But anyway, these things were marked clear down to like $7 for these. And then I want to take the LED controller and the array out of here and then put it inside of the mouth this way. Keep this black in here, but I want to put the those LEDs into here. And then probably maybe later on I could even add a infrared sensor here in the nose or somewhere, like a black one, and then put a sound unit in it, an MP3 playback, put a speaker in the back. You could do all kinds of things. I could maybe set up a small animation, put him on a stick, PVC pipe, and have the head rock back and forth, kind of make it look like it's coming out of the ground or whatever. But this is something I wanted to do for next year out front, so this is why I got this. So, like I said, runs on the same voltage, 6 volts. This pumpkin runs on 4.5. So, and these eyes will also perfectly, they're perfectly fine at 5 volts too, 5 volts DC. They pull very little current. Maybe right now this is the only thing that's running on there right now. So I'm running that at 5.8 volts and we're getting about 23 milliamps of current. Oh, I'm sorry. About 240 milliamps of current on that. So it's not too much, not for a power supply, but for a battery pack that would be quite a bit. You know, 0.1 is would be 100 milliamps, but this is running about 230 milliamps. But so I want to be taking this apart. It's all made to be taken apart. It's got a seam right here. There, see the screw holes here, and then that's why they give you that really long screwdriver you've seen me use with the orange handle. That's what actually is included with the eye kit, but that's why, because these are very deep well to get in here, and this is such a large skull. A couple of these are really deep, but that screwdriver won't have a problem getting in there and doing that. So anyway, this is kind of like a little intro, and then we'll be doing a take apart in here and getting in here and see if we can get this array in here. It shouldn't be a problem. There's a pretty good size difference between this and that, so shouldn't be any kind of a problem getting that in there. So I shall return.
1 minute later.
Okay, I got a pumpkin here that I got 75% off Home Depot back in it was October when they marked these down 75%. And then as I was showing before, I want to take the lighting out of this and then put that into my Scary Skully skull down here in the mouth area. I want to put it in there because it's kind of a, that mouth kind of, that has a translucent mesh in there anyway, because there is an LED in that mouth, but I wanted to put the fire LEDs in here. So I've taken the pumpkin apart, took the inside out, and then I took the diffuser out of here they had in the front, and I wanted to keep that diffuser plastic. So I'm going to turn this a little bit because this baby is pretty bright. So here's the inside of what this looks like. Actually, I'm going to shut it off for a minute. So here's the circuit board on it right there, and then each one of these are the high brightness LEDs. The L series on the LEDs, LED 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and it looks like they marked that one L8. And actually, excuse me, there was actually some extra pads here for more LEDs. Now I haven't tested those and see if those are actually active or not. If they've, you know, that's a multi-layer board, you can't see the traces from this side. And so the traces would be underneath this masking here probably. That would be kind of interesting. So I'm gonna see what we do have here. So let's set the meter up for 20 volts DC. And I'll go ahead and turn this back on. So here's a better shot of that board out of that flaming pumpkin. I think those were, I don't know if these were like, how much they were, but they were 75% off. So this was like $7 or whatever. So I got a couple of them because one I knew I was going to take apart and then put into that skull. So I'm going to turn this on, and then let's probe one of these contact points here and see if there's anything on that. See if I can get my, I'm gonna have to set the phone here just a minute, or set the camera here for just a minute, and I'll see if I can probe that one and probe that. Nope, I don't see anything there at all. No. So no, they're not. So no, these extra pads here, L7, those don't have any voltage, registering voltage on there at all. So they didn't hook them up. Anyway, you've got what, 4, 5, 6, 7 LEDs there. So you know it gives a neat effect. But that's going to be what lights up the mouth, and I don't know. I'll be able to put it in there vertically, and if I have to, I can take that board off. But it's really, really, really bright, as you can see here. But that's the oscillating pattern of the LEDs to make it look like flame. And then, of course, if you bring this through any kind of diffuse, like if I use a piece of paper here, you know, you can use that for a diffuser, and then it would look like flame more so because everything kind of blends together on the LED pattern of it. And then one little driver chip here, and then a couple of well, there's actually one little C1 underneath here, a capacitor, and then these are probably like look like resistors here, surface mount, of course. But that's what we'll do, and I will put that into that big pumpkin. So next little round of video here that will append onto this will show, I'll open up the skull, and then we'll actually see where I can position that. And then this runs on 4.5 volts. Skull runs on 6. So I don't know if I have to put a buck converter in there or not. You know, if I run this thing, these things run pretty hot at 4.5. If I upped out another, you know, volt, 5.5, another volt and a half, that's going to run even hotter. I mean, the LED brightness here. And I do believe there's a timer built into this chip here too, also, that after 6 hours this powers off. And then you just reset that, and then it comes right back on. Anyway, it should be a neat little effect anyway. So, all right, well, next time I will take that skull apart. So, see you a little later.